What's up guys, Cloudie here checking in from the America server, and in this video I wanted to show you guys my newest and most likely final clear team for Shakmeh, Devourer Shakmeh stage 7, including a 4-star Xerah and a 3-star Lorraine, with fairly well built supports and good artifacts, but not a single advanced soul weapon in the entire team, so I believe this is a fairly well built and reasonable setup to have. Let's move on to the run, and I will give you more info there. Now, before we get into the run itself, I wanted to do a shout out to Mittens, who while calling me Pepega about every 10 seconds was also helping a lot in optimizing the team for better survival and faster clears. Not to mention that the super piece of art that is the thumbnail of this video was done by Mittens too. So thank you for being awesome and Pepega. Okay, so let's look at the run itself. The tank is Jane for maximum buffing, magic damage buffing. She is wearing a solar stone to counter the healing of the mobs together with Xerah and Lorraine, so that's the main healing reduction. This works fairly well. As I have mentioned, the two main DPS are Xerah at a 4-star unique weapon, basic soul weapon at +4, Ether enhancement with a 3-star unique treasure, and Lorraine has a 3-star unique weapon with a 1-star unique treasure, UT3, so she can spam her S3 more often. Xerah is wearing the base pumpkin artifact, which is not dispellable, so this helps her survive and helps her deal more damage as well. Lorraine is wearing hybrid book because she is the second attack on attack. She doesn't get dispelled at all. You can see that together their DPS is becoming fairly respectable as we move into the AoE stages. The clear time is not super fast. I get to shock anywhere between 25 to 30 stacks, but thanks to Evan and all the attack down debuffs that I have, I can fight him for like 2 minutes without dying. So these are not fast runs, but they are very stable. In the last 70 or so runs that I have done, I only saw one wipe that happened, so this works fairly well for me. Not fast, but very stable. As I have mentioned, I do have a lot of attack down debuffs, and brings the tier 2 perk for 15%. We have the artifact for 15%, which I will show at the end when checking the gears. Rehartna brings a 25%, Jane has a 24% and from her unique weapon, and Evan has an attack down debuff as well on his skill to dark form. So that's a lot of attack down. The soft cap of this is actually 50%. They do stack, but after 50 you will see diminishing returns. And at the time of this recording, Lorraine was also using her attack down perk, but I have changed that actually to more boss damage. So this is her S4 poison perk. You can do more damage with her if you have the other sources of attack down. Now, all the team is ranged, and on the current clear we are having the buff that makes ranged characters regen mana faster, so this way I was able to remove the mana regen perks from pretty much everyone. Otherwise I would have had to redo the perks a little bit, but so far this works the best for me. It's really great that I do not have a diving unit like Xerah anymore, because I just do not have any of the early deaths because of that, unless Xerah gets one-shotted, but she doesn't use circuit burst, so that doesn't happen. Even on stage 7 with a 3-star UT, she lives just fine. With circuit burst sometimes she died, so that was annoying, and it worked better for me this way. Now you can see we have made it to shock, quite a few stacks, but the team makes it work. It takes anywhere from 1 minute 40 seconds to 2 minutes to kill this, and changing the Lorraine perk brought that down by maybe 10 to 20 seconds, let's say. I have tested it a bit, so it works fairly well. Now, most people will not bring Lavril, but she really does help with clearing the boss. You can see that Xerah's DPS will be going super fast, while Lorraine is mostly staying the same. So this is where Xerah is taking over the DPS role really. In the AoE phases, Lorraine was doing a lot. And here, Lavril will add her crit damage buff to Xerah and just make her so much more powerful. You can see that she is gradually going higher and higher. I have seen some runs where she hit like 1.6 million DPS, which for a 4-star base soul weapon is pretty good. You can see A2 runs with like 2 to 4 million DPS depending on the run and what they have. So this is fairly good, I believe. And then as the time goes, we are about 1 minute in, the team will slowly grind down the boss. Again, thanks to Evan and all the other attack down debuffs, we just don't die. So this is pretty efficient. Slow but stable, so if you can just leave it there. Now, the funny part is that the first time I cleared it, the game gave me that stupid error and my run didn't count, and I kept getting this over and over, so it took me a while to actually get all the 70 clears in. Had to sit in front of it for a while. That's why it made it into the thumbnail. Okay guys, so Shak is almost dead. Once he dies, we'll be moving on to the gears. So as promised, we are gonna look at the gears and setups of all the characters in the run, and of course starting with the 3 stars of the show, Xerah, Lorraine and Evan. Let's just quickly have a look. Xerah, 4-star unique weapon, 3-star unique treasure, basic soul weapon at +4, so nothing super fancy. Of course she has very good manticore items, which I have grinded forever, and she has a basic angry pumpkin head because this cannot be dispelled, so this increases her survival and DPS on the stages and makes the run smoother. But you can see the stats are not super fancy. She doesn't even have 500k attack, and her perks are also tailored so that she can survive while dealing the maximum amount of damage. Moving on to Lorraine. Again, 3-star unique weapon, no soul weapon, 1-star unique treasure 3. I use this because I like her spamming her S3 to kill the waves faster, but if you build her higher, then unique treasure 4 is recommended, and then you can just go crazy on the poison damage. But for that she would need to be a bit stronger to really make sense, and I'm using the hybrid book on her because this helps with damage and survival. Again, good manticore items, but nothing super fancy. And if you check her perks, I haven't chosen the attack down perk because I have other sources of attack, as I have mentioned, or attack down. But yeah, she is not really the main source of DPS on the boss. She's here as a buffer, CCR and AoE damage. So yeah, she works pretty well. Evan, of course, he is like super low invested. You can see 0-star unique weapon, 1-star unique treasure, which I'm using because I'm in a magic team, and I found that this buff works the best for me. The physical damage reduction has a pretty good uptime, and he is built fairly tanky, like 7 mil health, good amount of block and physical toughness. This is because he's carrying the feather, which makes him take more damage, but also everyone else takes more damage, every enemy. You can see he doesn't even have a rune there, and his perks are set up so that he can do the best buffing possible. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's no damage buffing perks, or because I'm a magic main. For physical, this would be slightly different. Now if we move on, Jane, using my Trial of Earth setup, you can see 0-star unique treasure, lots of health, block, no actual extra block defense, and no physical toughness because she still has the old runes from whatever I was running with her. Not super fancy build either. Has a 3-star solar stone because I needed the health reduction or healing reduction, and she has a standard buffing perk, so not even extra TP on her. She is fairly standard, I believe. Okay, let's see, moving on to the healing and buffing department. I have Lavril as mentioned. She is a bit squishy with only crit damage build, so I changed some of her items to have more P block and a little bit more health, and she's wearing this artifact to help her survive. As you can see, she has a fairly high unique weapon, no SV, and she has a 2-star unique treasure to help her survive, and her perks are the standard magic buffing perks. Moving on, Rehartna, who is super useful in this battle. She has a 0-star unique weapon and a soul weapon and a 0-star unique treasure. She's again built a little bit tanky, 7 million health, a little bit block, but you can see it's not super tanky. And she's carrying this new artifact, Heart of the Abyss, which is super useful. I highly recommend if you guys want to run Shakmeh. Her perks are buffs, speed, and the extra crit damage, plus the extra boss damage from this one. She is fairly standard. Again, not a physical team, so I do not have the physical buffs. Then we move on to the other pink hair girl, Xerah. Now this is my most built unit in this run. She has a 5-star unique weapon with a soul weapon, and she has a 1-star unique treasure and a 5-star crown. The set she's wearing is actually her conquest set, where she's using CC resistance speed. This is not really needed, she could be more tanky, she just needs the speed for maximum reduction on cooldown, but because she's an auto, I'm not even sure if that really helps her so much. The perks are the standard buffing perks, so nothing super fancy, with a little bit of extra focus on staying alive, but again, not super needed. And finally we have Annette in the building, 3-star unique weapon with a soul weapon, a 0-star unique treasure, and a 4-star rip. Her stats are nothing super fancy. She has a little bit of physical toughness and a lot of speed and mana recovery, so she can cast her spells and get into overcharge really fast. I think this is especially important when she's on auto mode and there is no CC. And her perks are pretty much standard magic buffing perks. So yeah, this is basically the team. As you can see, nothing super fancy in there, not even an advanced soul weapon, and they have a very good clear rate, so I think this is really doable for everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and it will be useful to you. This has been Cloudie. See you in the next video then. Bye bye.